Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you and all of your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are once again. We're coming to you live from New York City. That's where we originate, and it's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast, and it's a Friday morning in London at 1 a.m., 3 a.m. in Israel, and it's 9 a.m. in Tokyo. It's Thursday here, as I mentioned, right here in New York City. And we're coming to you with another edition of Talk Back Live. That's where we are. And that's where we are every Thursday at this time. And those of you who are joining us every Thursday, you already know the protocol. A lot of you have been with us for a long time, so you already know the deal. And we're going to be with you for a whole full hour. And the whole full hour will contain a lot of information. Of course, we have a little fun along the way, and we entertain all of you. And we talk to all of you as well. You can be part of the conversation as part of the show. And all you have to do is make sure that you have a keyboard with you, along with your computer on your telephone, and of course your iPads and all of your tablets, all of those devices that you use that you can actually see us. You can use your keyboard, type in whatever you want to talk about. I will see you right there on the big screen. And of course, we'll entertain all of your thoughts and ideas and opinions, because that's what the show is all about. All of these free ideas and of opinions. That's what we have it right here. That's why we call it Talk Back Live. We want to let you know that those of you who are watching us for the very first time, we start the show this way. This is how we do it. And if you look at your clock, you may be in a different time zone. Look at your clock, because whatever it says on your clock right now, that's what time we come on in your area each week. And of course, we get together and entertain everybody. And if you're watching us for the first time, please be aware that we're also broadcasting on 3 different places. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So either one of those 3 platforms will get you there. It'll get you started. And all you have to do is just be proactive and tell your family and friends about us too, because that's what's more important. Now, if you're watching us on Facebook, for those of you who are watching us on Facebook, you already know how to tag your friends. You can tag this particular show to your friends right now as we speak, as we get things and start to arrange things. You can do it right now. And maybe you have a lot of friends and you can't tag them all. Well, you know what? Take a little bit at a time each week. Tag a few here, tag a few there. The more the merrier. If they like what they see, if they like what they hear, of course, they'll be back again and again, just like you. And those of you who are watching us on YouTube, well, you already know the deal. I already tell you that. It's always the encouraging thing that I like to do is make sure that all of you go onto our YouTube channel and subscribe to us. How do you do that? All you have to do is just take your mouse, drag it over there, point the arrow where it says subscribe. You can see it right there. Click onto that, and it's all over. There's nothing to get involved in. You don't have to have any financial situations going on, nothing to obligate yourself in that area. It's all free. And once you tag onto that, right, once you subscribe to us, it'll give you a chance to know when we come on the air live, right? Or even if we do something like posting a video of some sort, right? That's activity on the channel. And it gives you an instant notification to let you know, because let's say, for instance, next week, you have all intentions of watching the show and you're here for the first time. You know, sometimes I don't expect people who are here for the very first time to actually, you know, say, oh, you know something, I'm not going to forget to come out, you know, because you may forget, you know, but if you're online, you'll get that instant notification and that'll let you know right there. All you have to do is click onto that instant notification. And there you go. It brings you right there and you don't have to miss a thing, you know. And as I said, even if it's active, whatever kind of activity that we're doing on the channel, you get a chance to get that instant notification and you can go and see what the activity is, right? And for the most part, we like you to hang out and watch us on the show. And those of you who are watching us on Instagram, you don't have to do anything. You know, the only thing you have to do is make sure that you tell everybody, keep your family and friends abreast of what's happening, you know, tell them about it. And a good way that you can do it for all of you who are watching us on YouTube and Instagram, right? You can do something similar to the people what they do on Facebook. The Facebook people, they tag the show to them. All you have to do is cut and paste our link. That's our link to wherever you're watching us. If you're watching us on Facebook, cut and paste that link. You're watching us on Instagram, cut and paste that link and send it to your friends. As many as possible, as many as you want. And that's a good way of linking up with people. That's a good way of hipping people to what's going on with this show. So we hope that you get a chance to do that. And there's so many things that we have to do. For instance, talking to you as well. We want to keep talking to you. And we want to let you know also we have our regular thing that we do here on the show. We do here, for instance, a few minutes from now, in this particular half hour of the show, we're going to be expecting Brian Camp. Brian Camp is our sports guy. And he's going to come on with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And he's got a lot to talk about on sports. So we're going to be waiting around for him. If you're around, if you have any sports related questions or anything like that, you could always relay them to him when he's on the air live. Now, you come on the air live, you'll get a chance to see him, you'll get a chance to meet him, and you'll get a chance to talk to him as well. And if you have those questions, ask away. He'll have the answers for you. And if he doesn't have the answers, he can get the answers. I guarantee you that. So that's what's coming up too. And for those of you who are watching us on Facebook and Instagram, you will get a chance to see him. Now, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, you'll get a chance to meet him. You'll see him right on the screen. You'll get a chance to see him and you'll get a chance to talk to him as well. As far as all the people who are watching us on Instagram, it's not the same situation because we don't have the luxury of having him on the screen. But the good news is that you'll still get a chance to hear him. You'll hear his audio, you'll hear everything he has to say, and you could still ask the same questions, whatever questions that you may have, even though you may not see him, but you'll have the questions that you want to relate to him, and he'll be out there to answer them all for you. So we've got all of that coming up. And so we invite you to stay along with us. Also, later on in the program, we have this thing in today's, this day in history. This day in history. Now, something happened on this day in history many, many moons ago, on this day, July 11th, right? History was made somewhere. We got that answer for you coming up, and we'll have that for you. Also, later on, before the show is over, so we're going to give you our picks of the week. And that's the movies, because you know the weekend is coming up. You already know that, right? We look forward, and we all look forward to that. It just seems like yesterday we just came out of a weekend, but we're going back into another weekend. So we look forward to that. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you already know that with the weekend coming up, those movies that I have for you, I picked them directly. They're my picks of the week, and they're all from Turner Classic Movies. And I like to relay those to you, because a lot of you may be doing something on the weekend, but one of the things you may want to do is just catch up on some movies. Now, because everybody living in different parts of the world may have good weather, and they'll say, okay, no, I'm not going to watch any movies. I'm going to go out and barbecue. I'm not going to do this outdoor activities. That's all well and good too. But then on the other hand, there may be people who may be in areas where the weather may be inclement this weekend. And so it keeps you indoors, you know, I hope not. But if it happens that way, that's a good time to catch up on some movies. And so what I'm going to do, the movies that I picked from Turner Classic Movies, I'm going to have those for you. And I'm going to add those. You can add those to your bucket list of what to watch this weekend. So I have all of that coming up, and we look forward to all of that. Remember, all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, Talkback Live, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinions of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or Zoom, or any other social media outlet or broadcast facility. So here we go. We've got it all out of the way. Thank you so much for being along with us. Yes, it is. It's July. And I hope you had a wonderful July 4th. Now, those of you who were looking for us last week here and didn't see us, that's because we weren't here, obviously, because it was July 4th and we took that day off. But we did yesterday, the following day after that, we did the coffee hour. But a lot of people who watch this show may not watch the coffee hour and vice versa. But yeah, so we were off last week. And but we're back now. But we do hope that you had a wonderful 4th of July holiday weekend. It was a long weekend because 4th of July happened on Thursday, last Thursday, right? That was the 4th. That was actually the kickoff of the weekend. And then a lot of people, what I would assume, took off the following day. Maybe they had that whole day off. And it was just a whole weekend. So you had that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You had all that time to do whatever you wanted to do. And a lot of people took the 4th of July to gear up for the fireworks and all of that. But I hope it was a good one for you. And we got more holidays along the way. It's the summertime. We're into the summer mode. And a lot of people are wondering what the next step is going to be, what they're going to do. As far as summer goes, is people are taking vacations. It's about that time of the year. People will be taking vacation to a lot of places. So people will be doing that. And of course, you have all that money to burn. At least enjoy it, right? At least enjoy it. You only live once. Okay, so since we are in the month of July too, and it's July 11th, I want to let you know that all this month, this whole month of July, we are focusing on National Blood Donors Month. That's what it is. That's what we got going right here. National Blood Donors Month. Now, if you decide that that's what you want to do, you want to donate a little blood for any reason, you can do that. What I want you to do is to make sure that you do it the right way and not just spill your blood out to anyone. Make sure that you contact the American Red Cross or even your local blood bank for more information, and they'll tell you how to do or where to go or whatever. You know, those are reputable places to go. The American Red Cross and your local blood bank, you know, and make sure that they are reputable. So if you want to give whatever amount of blood that you want to give, feel free, because that's what this is all about. A lot of people are in need of blood, and so they look forward to it. They depend on this. And so if you want to throw your hat in the ring to do that, that would be a great thing to do. That's National Blood Donor Month. And again, go through that. Make sure that you contact the American Red Cross or your local blood bank for all of that. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And that's exactly what we mean, live. So therefore, we get together live each week and we talk to you. And we just say hi to you. And if you want to say hi back to us, that would be fine too. A lot of people just want to sit back and watch the show and say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. I just want to sit back and watch the show. And particularly people who are new, they just want to sit back and watch the show, right? Without saying anything, which is good too. That's okay. You can do that. That's fine and dandy. And but just as long as you're there. And then who knows, maybe somewhere down the road, you'll get a chance to come out of that shell and say, hey, you know something, I think I'm going to talk, I'll talk. And, you know, and all you have to do, you can do it, take your time, right? Your keyboard is right there at any time you want. If you have any questions or just want to have, let's say, for instance, maybe you have something in particular you want to talk about on the side of what we do here. Maybe there's something that you just want to throw out there and you want to make a discussion with the rest of the people who are here. Feel free, just type it in. I will see you right there on the big screen. And of course, we'll get a chance to talk to all of you. So that's what we want to do. So hello to all of you guys who are watching and in those platforms we were talking about, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. You guys are fabulous. I want to thank all of my friends who have been out here with us for all of this time. Well, I needn't tell you that I'm eternally grateful for all of you who have come out each week and support us and share these moments. And I love sharing these moments with you. I really do. They're great moments. And And I always look forward to them. I really look forward to them. So thank you so much for being along with us. You know, Hollywood is mourning the loss of John Landau. That's the Oscar-winning producer and James Cameron collaborator behind some of the biggest blockbusters in movie history. Landau, who produced films like Aviator and the Titanic. He died in Los Angeles last Friday. The cause of death was not provided, and he was 63 years old. And this came in, actress Shelley Duvall has died. The actress who played on The Shining opposite Jack Nicholson died on Thursday at her home in Blanco, Texas, from complications of diabetes. Duvall was born July 7th, 1949 in Fort Worth, Texas. And she considered pursuing a career in science before she was discovered by 3 crew members on the director Robert Altman back in 1970 when he did his film Brewster McCloud at a party in Houston where Shelley's then at the time fiance Bernard Sampson was displaying artwork. Duvall was 75 years old. Okay, thank you so much again for joining us right here on Talkback Live. And I think it's that time right now to shift gears and go over to Charlotte, North Carolina, because as I said, at this time each week, Brian comes along with us with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And again, if you have any sports related questions, feel free at any time because he's right here right now. First of all, we weren't here last week because of the 4th of July holiday. I hope you had a wonderful holiday and happy belated birthday to you too, and happy belated anniversary to you. You want to explain that anniversary thing?
13 years ago, asked my wife to marry me, and she said yes. And I said, also, we would have to do it on my birthday too, because if we're going to do it in July, why not do it on my birthday, which was on a Saturday? She agreed to it, and so I celebrate 2 events at one time, 2 gifts at one time. So that's why it landed on that particular year and date in 2011. So happy anniversary to my lovely wife of 13 years, and happy birthday to me. So I am grateful. It's a pleasure. It's always a blessing when you could wake up every morning to see another day, to open up your eyes. So, but July 9th is a special day. Yes, it is a special day. Famous people were born on this day. Brian Keith, former actor. Tom Hanks, as we all know. The guy that played in Wonder Years, Fred Savage, was his birthday too. O.J. Simpson was born on that day. One of the greatest running backs of all time. I'm only going to say that. One of the greatest running backs of all time, football. And my favorite, the reason why I wear leather jackets when I was growing up, Richard Roundtree's birthday was on July 9th. May he rest in peace. And a few others too as well too, but I always with those names.
You're in with real good company. It's ironic. Just yesterday, I had a little downtime, so I wanted to do a little streaming, right? So I watched this movie that OJ. I don't know if you ever remember this movie called The Cassandra Crossing.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it was a drama. It was a good movie too. It's a great movie. O.J. Simpson was in it. You had a lot of all-stars in it. You had Ava Gardner, Martin Sheen,
Wow.
Sophia Loren.
Wow.
O.J. All of them. It's good. You could do it. It's called Cassandra Crossing. I think you could find it on Tubi. If it's not on Tubi, it's on Pluto. It could be on Pluto, but I think it's on Tubi.
That movie had to have been late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah. It was in the 70s, And so you mentioned Richard Roundtree, so now I'm going to have to go watch Shaft now, which is
the original. Yeah.
One of my favorite kind of movies out there. Yeah, they were good movie. They and but you share. I didn't know Brian Keith. Was it Brian Keith that was on? Was it really Brian Keith? I thought it was Brian Dennedy. Is it?
That's who I'm talking about. Yes.
Oh, okay, because Brian Keith, right? Brian
Yeah.
Keith. I'm
Brian.
yeah,
Yeah.
Brian Keith.
Brian.
Everybody that doesn't know Brian Keith. Brian Keith used to be on that sitcom back in the '60s and '70s called A Family Affair.
Yes.
But yeah,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
when you say Brian Keith, are you sure it was Brian Keith?
Brian Dennehy. I always get those two actors. I get their names mixed.
Yeah.
Brian Dennehy played in a lot of one of the movies I liked him was in called Silverado. He was playing again. Kevin Costner was in that movie, and Kevin Costner was just up and coming.
Yeah.
And Silverado was in there. It was a great Western, but it was a comedy mixed with a lot of drama as well too.
Yeah.
And Fred Savage from the Wonder Years, and just to name a few, but those are the names that I remember the most. And
Yeah.
But yes, it was a fine. He didn't do anything on Tuesday. Tuesday was the birthday and the anniversary. All we did was it was so hot, we didn't even go out until like late afternoon. We went to get something to eat, then we brought it back home to eat it. Then we went out to go for grocery shopping, and it was too. But we're gonna probably do something Saturday though. We'll probably do Saturday.
It was real hot. It was real hot here in New York too. So hot that I haven't been to the gym all week.
Yeah.
I mean, in the heat wave, you want to be very cautious. I'm not the young man I used to be. So,
Yeah. I mean, listen, we all get older. I don't do that much working out in the summertime.
Yeah.
I do it, I don't push as hard as I used to.
Right.
In the summertime, I just do enough just to get my blood going and everything, So
that's all I need.
yeah. Walking, I do the walking, but I don't get on the treadmill too much in the summertime. I ride the bike more in the summertime than I do. And when I say ride the bike, actually a bike that
stationary bike. Yeah.
Yeah. But I ride the bike that around my community. That's what I do and everything,
Mm-hmm.
So I could just get the breeze and just have lots of fun and everything,
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Good evening.
You do the sports, and I'm going to give you permission to rag on my Yankees because they deserve it. But go ahead. It's all yours.
Evening to you all out there listening out wherever you are, globally, nationally, and locally. It is 86 degrees here in the Queen City of Charlotte. We reach a high of 93. Guess you could say that's a little cooler, but it was still hot. But we're not complaining. We're not complaining. We just have to adjust and to adapt. So that's the temperature that we have here. And the heat wave it's going to lighten up a little bit because we're expecting rain tomorrow. So it's going to be like 89 degrees. So, we welcome the rain and the little breeze to come in. So yes, it should be fun to have a little cool air. Not much to talk about with sports, but I will say that the All-Star game is coming up next week. They're going to have the Home Run Derby, and we're going to have the All-Star game, and maybe we'll try to stay awake for that. But between the three major sports of baseball, basketball, and football, the All-Star games are just not that fun anymore. But if there's nothing on television, you just watch the All-Star game and the Home Run Derby, which is on that Monday, the day before the All-Star game. But this day in sports, July 11th, 1914, Babe Ruth, Hall of Famer, makes his debut as a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox and earns a win. 1968, you see how we jumped from 1914 to 1968. Earl Weaver replaces Hank Bauer as manager of the Baltimore Orioles. 1985, Houston Astros pitcher Nolan Ryan is the first pitcher to strike out 4,000 batters. And who was his victim? Danny Heap. 1987, Cal Ripken Sr. becomes the first manager to manage two sons, Cal Ripken and Cal Ripken Jr. and Billy Ripken. 1988, Mike Tyson hires Donald Trump as an advisor. Ladies and gentlemen, that was 36 years ago, okay? Please don't hold that against him. That was 36 years ago. I don't know what he was thinking back then, but yes. I want to read that one more time so I don't have to read it again. In 1988, former heavyweight champion Iron Mike Tyson hires Donald Trump as an advisor.
Well, you know something. They're buds. Even now, they're buds. And Mike Tyson, I'm sorry to say, is supporting him and voting for him. So, you can take that however you want. So it makes sense.
Yeah. Not politically, but
no,
to each his own.
Yeah.
1989, President Ronald Reagan sportcast on the All-Star game. He was part of the sportscast and did some of the game. He was a guest in the booth. 2015, Serena Williams becomes the oldest female player to win Wimbledon at the age of 33. Yes, 33. Well, Wimbledon is on now. We're coming up to the final week for the finals. I don't think there are any Americans left in this tournament. Birthdays: 1953, Leon Spinks, gold medalist and heavyweight champion, was born in St. Louis, Missouri. And in 1966, Rod Strickland, NBA guard, was born in the Bronx, New York. Speaking of the Yankees, they are, listen, nobody expected, unless of crazy diehard Yankee fans, that the Yankees was going to breeze through the season without a glitch. The Baltimore Orioles and the Yankees are going to go right down to the wire. Yankees are in a little tailspin right now, but they still finding their way. Their ace just came back. Their ace pitcher, what's his name? Cole is his last name. It was Cole. And so, so the Yankees are going to find their swagger. It's going to come back. But, right now they're like in a little tailspin right now, and but this is going to go down to the wire between the Orioles and the Yankees for the division. But there's other teams that's out there that's playing well. The Guardians are playing well. And let's not forget the World Series champion Texas Rangers as well, too. And that's just only in the American League. National League, well, it's the Dodgers and Phillies. And we don't want the Dodgers to win at all. We don't want the Dodgers to win at all. San Francisco Giant fan, they lost again today. They're rebuilding, but, come on, you got to get better, team. You got to get better. And that's basically it. Yes, I want to mention also, they had a wonderful tribute out in California, in San Francisco. As you know, Willie Mays passed away not too long ago. So they had a ceremony, a tribute to him. And all the stars that you should have saw, all the stars of yesteryear, they paid tribute. Former President Bill Clinton was there. Former President Barack Obama had made a video to give a message of the greatness of Willie Mays. Of course, his son, Michael Mays, was there. Very tearful moment where they gave Michael Mays a military flag. How you see the soldiers, how they fold the flag up whenever their brethren who pass away, they give it to the family members. Of course, his godson, Barry Bonds, was there as well, to a whole host of people, of stars, Felipe Lou and Dusty Baker. Great tribute to Willie Mays. He will be missed. Again, I still say he's the greatest to ever play the game, and we just cherish his memory and everything. I'm planning on going to San Francisco one day soon, but I want to get down to Kansas City, Missouri, to visit the old Negro League Museum, where I could learn more and more about this wonderful tribute to the Negro League, who had such gifted players back then, like Josh Gibson and the late Jackie Robinson and Larry Doby. Great players. We don't know what it would have been to have baseball integrated in the early 1900s, but 1947 was the turning point, and we just got to enjoy what we have now.
Wow. Yeah. Baseball come back somehow. They got to. It has to be remarketed though. They have
to do a better job marketing their product. It's too much. More scandals. More and more scandals about PEDs, which is performance enhancement drugs. Players are being suspended, banned from the game. Empires being sued. Baseball is so desperate now to bring the fans back, and they're not doing a good job in doing so. They always say baseball is American pastime, but I don't see it anymore.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the Yankees, since I want to go back to Yankees. I'm not going to talk about the Yankees themselves. I read earlier this week that Michael Kay, one of the voice of the Yankees, I think he was like the voice of the Yankees, right? Had a little hissy fit because someone said that the Mets announcers were the best announcers in baseball, and they say he threw a tantrum when he heard about that.
Yeah, I heard the story. I didn't read about the full story. I know that it was pretty. Yeah, Michael Kay, he's a humdinger, right?
Yeah.
He always dreamed about being an announcer for the Yankees, so he achieved his dream job. But look, let me say this about that. I do know that I listen to both announcers, Yankee games and Met games. The Mets announcers are homers. They are homers. They let you know, and Keith Hernandez, who does a great job, but sometimes he gets a little carried away. Yankee announcers, sometimes they could be, when Michael Kay be calling the game, I don't know, is that sometimes the announcers for the Yankee games, they could be so dry sometimes. There'd be like a lot of dead air. Where's the commentators? David Cohn, come on, say something. It's just, and then they wait for the next pitch to come in. That's when you hear Michael Kay. You want to hear announcers. Some people don't want to hear announcers to talk. But I'm a student of the sport. I want to hear their expertise. I want to hear what they're thinking.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's a lot of dead air. You call it dead air.
Yeah.
Nobody don't say anything.
Yeah.
Michael Kay calls a good game. He does call a good game, but between pitches, nobody saying anything.
Well, it's not like it was these new jacks. I call them young jacks. They got to come up. When they come up, they think they know it all. They don't always know it all. And I'm not taking anything from Michael Kay. I mean, I'm pretty sure he was well trained doing what he's doing. I think his personal life should stay, where it is, because I don't give a damn about his wife and his sons or anything like that. And I'm going to be honest with you. Again, I'm not slurring Michael Kay. I'm not doing that. But I think he's a little bit insecure. I get that. I read that out of him. I think, when I listen to him talk, I think he's a little insecure. I don't know how true the story was. I mean, Jim Cott used to announce for the Yankees along with Michael Kay. And I don't know how true the story is, but I heard it, and I hope it's not true. I heard that he had Jim Cott fired. I don't know how true that story is. I'm not going to say that.
That is, but I do know that he has a show on the Yes Network.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the show. It's the Michael K
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, well, it's the Michael K. He has the radio show Michael K. And then he have backstage, or I think
Yes.
it's something like that. You know,
Yes.
I don't really watch that show. You know,
Right.
uh,
But what he does, with his show, he does separate him calling games and his show.
mhm.
Show sometimes could be outrageously, boring sometimes, But
Yeah.
for some reason, they keep on re-upping him, for a new contract, So, I mean, I grew up listening to Phil Rizzuto, Bill White, and what's his name? Messer.
Yeah.
Right.
Frank Messer. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah. They were good announcers. They were good announcers. And they listen. I remember when Ken Singleton was with the Yankee. He was a good announcer. He had a great voice as well as he was a great player.
Yes.
And I think Kay is kind of insecure. But you know something? I'll tell you something. If John Sterling didn't like radio so much, because he turned down TV,
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
If he didn't like radio so much, he would have been the announcer. And I think John Sterling and Susan Waltman would have been a great team together.
Yeah, John Sterling always chose radio over television.
Yeah.
Even before he became Yankee announcer,
Yeah.
his day back in New York when he was the Nets announcer and the Islanders and the Atlanta Hawks, he always did radio. Radio was I'm pretty sure they offered him what you want to do. You want to be on the TV side, radio, but he chose radio because that's
well, he had TV, and he would have been great for TV.
Yeah.
And Susan Waldman was on TV for a while. They just ditched her and put her back on radio.
Yeah.
I thought she was good on TV.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. Anyway, that's it. You back here tomorrow, right?
It's 50-50. I'll let you know because I might be in between something doing that. But I want to try. I'm going.
We'll see. We'll see. Don't leave until you say hello to Mary, because she wished you a happy birthday already.
Oh, Mary, hi. I wasn't even looking at my screen. I'm sorry, Mary. Thank you so much. Also about your screen too. Yeah. On the playback, you need to fix your screen. Maybe it's my I don't know if it's my screen or what, but you're like real close and you don't see. Really don't see you up close. You're too close to the camera.
I am too close. And you know something? I don't even have a zoom to this camera. I'm gonna purchase a new camera and make sure it has a zoom to it. This way I can come in and out. But and I'm sitting way back.
Yeah.
Would you believe that? I'm sitting way back. Can you imagine if I moved up forward?
I mean, it's like I'm looking at you live and you're perfect there.
Yeah.
But on my other screen, I can't even see the comments. That's why I can't see Mary. Mary, thank you so much, and appreciate the warm, loving greetings of my birthday and anniversary. Appreciate that. But when you play the playback, you'll see. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's just my phone. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Maybe there's a way you could open it up so you could see who's there.
I tried it.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, Lisa's out there too. I want to say hello to Lisa out there.
Hello, Lisa. Hope all is well.
Mary and all of you guys out there. Thank you guys for joining us. And we hope to see you back here tomorrow. We'll see. You of course, something I'm not worried about you. You always give me good notice and, give me a heads up. And so I appreciate that.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. So anyway, we'll catch you. We'll catch you.
Okay. Everybody be safe, stay cool, and enjoy the rest of the week.
Okay. Take care. We'll talk again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports. Sports update. That's what he has for us. And we had a lot of talk about sports, a lot of talk about it. And boy, we ran over time with it. Sometimes we get a little crazy about it and forget about where we are. We're talking about sports, not knowing that we got people out there So anyway, you're saying goodbye, Lisa? She's saying bye-bye. Oh, Lisa, I haven't seen you in a long time. I'm glad you're out there. I'm glad you came out. You know where to find me now. You know where to find me. Anyway, you're just watching us, you're just joining us like Lisa just did, or Mary. The name of the show is called Talk Back Live, and we're going to be here for the balance of the hour. And we want to make sure that all of you are out there watching us. Please tell your friends about us and let them know that we're out here. And we're going to be out here for quite a while, so we want to get things rolling right now. I think it's around this time right now. We're overdue. We're overdue because this time right now, we're going to go back in time on this day in history. And back in time on this day in history in 1905, Black intellectuals and advocates led by W.E.B. Du Bois organized the civil rights Nigeria movement. On this day in history in 1922, the Hollywood Bowl opens in Los Angeles. On this day in 1935, FDR became the first US president to travel through Panama Canal. On this day in history in 1936, the Triborough Bridge that links Manhattan, Bronx, and Queens, that opens up. On this day in history, 1952, the General Eisenhower nominated for the Republican US presidential candidate. On this day in history, in 1967, the Newlywed Game premieres in the US on ABC TV. In 1969, on this day in history, David Bowie releases his single Space Oddity. That's the Space Oddity 9 days before Apollo 11 lands on the moon. On this day in history, 1969, the Rolling Stones released Honky Tonk Woman. Back in 1977, U.S. Medal of Freedom awarded to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Of course, he deserves it. And more, of course. In 1995, Shaggy releases his third studio album, Bombastic, and it won him a Grammy Award and Best Reggae Album. Back in 2007, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. That's the fifth film based on the book by J.K. Rowling is released. And actor Yul Brynner was born on this day in 1920. He was born in Russia. He died in 1985 at the age of 65 years old from lung cancer. In 1929, Pat Cooper, stand-up comedian Pat Cooper. And he's also an actor. He was born in Brooklyn, New York. He died in 2023. In 1931, singer, actor Tab Hunter. Tab Hunter was born in New York City. He died 2018 in 1931. R&B and pop vocalist Thurston Harris, who did Little Bitty Pretty One. He was born in Indianapolis, Indiana, and he died in 1990. In 1943, actress Susan Seifert from the soap opera Days of Our Life, and also Young and Restless, was born in San Francisco, California. She's 81 years old today. Happy birthday. In 1944, TV host Bill Boggs was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He's 80 years old today. In 1950, Bonnie Pointer of the Pointer Sisters was born in Oakland, California. She passed away 2020. In 1953, disco singer Peter Brown was born in Blue Island, Illinois. He's 71 years old today. In 1959, back in this day in history, singer Suzanne Vega was born in Santa Monica, California. She's 65 years old today. Welcome to the Senior Citizens Club, Suzanne. In 1963, actress Lisa Ria was born in Medford, Oregon. She's 61 years old today. In 1974, rapper Little Kim was born in Brooklyn, New York. She's 50 years old today. Back in 1955, actor Clark Gable weds former fashion model and actress Kay Williams, Spreckles, not Sprinkles, Spreckles. On this day in history, 1960, actress Jean Turney weds oil baron W. Howard Lee in Aspen, Colorado in 1976. Singer Andy Gibbs weds Kim Rita in Australia. They got divorced in 1979. In 1976, Frank Sinatra weds his fourth and final wife, Barbara Marx. In 2003, the Sopranos actress Jamie Lynn Seeger weds her manager, AJ Deskyla. And they got married in Brooklyn, New York. Guess where they got married in Brooklyn, New York? At the Botanical Garden in Brooklyn, New York, in Prospect Park. That's a history. In 2009, actor Robert Redford weds second wife, and artist Sybil Zager. And they got married in Hamburg, Germany. In 2015, actress Jenny Garth weds actor David Abrams in Los Olives in California. Composer George Gershwin died on this day in 1937 at the age of 38 years old. And he was born September 26, 1889. I'm sorry, let's make that 1898. Switch the numbers around. And his birthplace was Brooklyn, New York. So I'm a little partial there. In 1973, actor Robert Ryan dies from lung cancer at 63 years old. Actor Laurence Olivier died on this day in 1989 at the age of 82 years old from cancer. He was born May 22nd, 1907, and he was born in the United Kingdom. In 2007, singer Frances Lanford dies of congestive heart failure at the age of 92 years old. And in 2006, jazz pianist Bill Miller dies of a heart attack while on tour, and he was 91 years old. And 2007, Lady Bird Johnson, wife of Lyndon B. Johnson, known as Lady Bird, right? She was the first lady of the United States president. She was first lady. She died on this day, and she was born in 1912. And finally, in 2021, actor Robert Robinson, he appeared on Night Court. He dies of cancer, complications there, and he was 75 years old. So there you go. That's this day in history. And for those of you who have ideas or know anything that's happening on this day in history that I didn't mention, that I didn't know about, well, that's why I depend on you. You can also get aboard and let me know, type it out there and I will see it, of course. And we'll display it to all the people who are watching too. We want to do that as well. And so it's always this day in history. We always do that and have a lot of fun. Again, if you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live, and we're talking to all of you out there. We want to say hello to Mary Reed again. We want to say hello to Lisa Thorpe. And let's see, who else is out there? We have Shannon, I believe that's Shannon. Is that Shannon Wallace? We want to say hello to Shannon. And there's Debbie Kirkland. Debbie Kirkland, I know very well because her and I used to work together. So we're radio people. We were radio people, and we used to work together. So hello to Debbie. Debbie, thank you so much for joining us, and thank all of you for being along with us. We're going to be here again up until to the midnight hour. No, we're not going to stay here that long. We're going to only be here for a few minutes more. But listen, I have a little time left right now for those of you who wants to join in the conversation. And if you don't want to join in the conversation and you want to get in touch with me, that's an easy thing to do. All you have to do is be proactive. I'll give you my email address and my telephone number, and you can do that. I'll start with the email address first. The email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled A-L-L-A-N. That's very important to know because there's many ways of spelling Allan. And Prod is P-R-O-D. And of course, again, that's Frank Allan Prod. Prod is, of course, stands for production. So that's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. Now, you can get in touch with me for any reason. For instance, if you have a birthday coming up, and you would like us to announce it here, we can do that for you. If you want to talk about the show, or maybe you want to critique the show, which is good because we always learn from all of you out there. If you have any ideas about the show that you think that we should implement into the program, we listen to that as well. Anything. And even if you just want to get in touch with us just to say hi, that's all right too. You can do that. Keep all of the information at your disposal, right? You keep it in your telephone. For all of you people who refuse to come out of the old dinosaur age, you want to put it in a Rolodex. Any way you can, it doesn't matter. Just keep it wherever you can find it, and use it at any time you like. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They never sleep. We do, but they don't, right? So you can do that in the middle of the night, right? You can do that. So let me give you that email address once again. It's frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. I always look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. And I hope you get a chance to get in touch with me. And so we can talk about a lot of things together. Okay, there you go. All right. Well, I do know that we've got only, and I hate to say this because it's short, I don't want to rush things, but we have 4 months to go before that glorious day, that marvelous day, that election day. We only have 4 months to go, right? And a lot of people are wondering, are on the fence and wondering who they're going to vote for. And they're waiting. Now, you've probably heard of the news, and it's depressing news. They're waiting to see. They're calling for Joe Biden to step down. I don't know your opinion on that. A lot of people have opinions on that, whether they want to do that or not. They can do that. I don't know. But I do know we've got 117 days to go before that glorious day, that marvelous day, that election day. That's all we have. That's all we have. And I guess they're looking forward to seeing, what you guys are going to do, because you guys are going to call the last shot. All right. You guys are calling the last shot. Who's going to sit in that White House? Do you want a real president to sit in the White House, or do you want to lose democracy or whatever? Or for you women, do you want to lose your rights to decide what you want to do with your body? Your productive rights, your physical productive rights. You don't want to lose that, right? Do you guys want to lose your civil rights or any other kind of rights that you are enjoying today? You don't want to lose any of that, right? And I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I'll tell you who not to vote for. But that's the same thing of telling you who to vote for. Anyway, we got that coming up. Election time is coming up. But we want all of you to realize that this is the time for all of you. This is the time for all of you guys to think about what you're doing. Now, for all of you guys who are in the Democratic Party, there are a lot of people, a lot of lawmakers in the Democratic Party who are putting him out to dry. They say, he should step down. And at this particular point, I think the Democratic Party are kind of like, instead of like, you're not united in this point. And keep in mind, you only have 4 months to go. 4 months to go. All right. And I can go on and on about this, but I refuse to. But please keep in mind, it's not a lot of time to do. It's not a lot of time. Okay, guys, thank you so much again for joining us. Lisa, you said you didn't know that I had an extension. I did. The number, you have to have an extension, to get to that number. And you can leave a message or whatever, right? And Anyway, I got those movies that I, tell you guys about each week, right? Because I like to have my picks of the week. And my picks of the week of the movies that I think you guys are going to like. I hope you like them. Now, I only have two this week. Uh, because I found these two that I were interested in, and I think they may go good for you. So if you're coming up on the weekend, we're all coming up on the weekend. And those of you who do whatever you do on the weekend, and one of the things that you want to do is catch up on some movies, well, I want to add a couple to your bucket list on what to watch. So I'm going to go back to 1945. Here's something that I think you all can enjoy. If you love classic movies, black and white movies, this is a classic. I love it. I never get tired of watching it. It's called Key Largo, back in 1948. Humphrey Bogart, Edward G. Robinson, and Lauren Bacall. And that's a great movie. And you can catch that on Turner Classic Movies. That's on Saturday at 4:15 p.m. Eastern. So you can spend your Saturday afternoon watching that. It's a great movie. I think you'll like it. Again, that's Humphrey Bogart, Edward G. Robinson, and Lauren Bacall, and that's called Key Largo. Here's another one that I have for you, but it's not a movie. It's a documentary. And this is not, I'm not going to put this in a line of classic movies because it's not a classic movie. It was done in 2021, but it's a good thing to jog your memory. Remember the old automats? Do you guys remember the old automats? Well, this is a documentary of the Automat. That's the name of it. It's called The Automat. And it's directed by Lisa Hurwitz. And she directed this. This is on Turner Classic Movies. You can check it out. It's on Sunday at 8:15 a.m. Eastern. Now, if you're not up that early, even if you are up that early, some of you guys want to do your Sunday thing, go to church or whatever you do in the morning. But if you happen to be up that time in the morning, you could watch it then. If not, you could always DVR these movies and watch them at your own very own time convenience. That's called Automat. Now, Automat is a good documentary. It just brings me back to the days of the Automat when you could just walk in there and you put like back in those days, depending on how far back you go, there was a time when you could put a nickel in there and get a whole meal or a whole pie. I'll take a lemon pie, so I'll put a nickel in there and I'll grab a slice of pie. Remember those automats? They had them. The last automat in New York that they closed down. It was on 43rd Street. I'm sorry, it was on 42nd Street and I believe 3rd Avenue, which now the Gap occupies that space now. And I remember when they closed it down, they had a lot of them. They had the Horn and Hardocks and all of the automats that were there, and they were fun. It was cheap. You could hang out there. It was like a restaurant, but it's a place you can go in there and just drop a dime in there or a nickel, however it costs, and then they open it up and you can pull your pie out they had hot food, they had cold food. But anyway, you'll get a chance to go back and see about the automats, all right? So check it out. So let me repeat the movie again. It's Key Largo, 1948. Humphrey Bogart, Edward G. Robinson, Lauren Bacall, and that's Saturday at 4:15 p.m. Eastern. You can check it out, and of course the Automat, and that was done in 2021, and that's on Turner Classic Movies. There are no actors in this, but they talk to regular people about the remembrance of the Automats. I like it. I just get a kick out of it. I like old nostalgia, things like that. Anyway, the Automat is on Sunday, Turner Classic Movies, at Sunday at 8:15 a.m. Eastern. And so I hope you get a chance to check it out, because I'm going to check it out myself. Because sometimes you can record some of these things too, and watch them then. Anyway, we want to thank all of you guys for being with us on this day, day. Again, I want to say hello to all of you who have joined us, Mary Reed and Lisa Thorpe, and all of you guys who have chimed in with us. We are hoping that you're going to join us too here next week. We're here every week at this time. And if you're in a different time zone, watch your clock, okay? Because we're on at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's where we are, 8 p.m. Eastern. And so that's about it, okay? But I'll tell you what, I'm going to close out now, but I'll be back tomorrow morning too. You can join me back here tomorrow morning. We have another show called The Coffee Hour. That's tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, and you can act accordingly. That's 10 a.m. Eastern for us, and that's The Coffee Hour. Ryan Camp, hopefully he'll be along with sports, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. If not, we're going to carry it for him. We're going to do all of that for him, but hopefully he'll be here, and hopefully we'll look for you too. All right, that's tomorrow at 10 a.m. But then again, join me back here next week at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of Talk Back Live. And Brian Camp will be here with sports once again. You'll be here hopefully, and we look forward to seeing you. Lisa, your birthday is the 20th. So happy birthday to Lisa. Lisa's celebrating a birthday on the 20th, right? That's the 20th. I'm assuming that's the 20th of this month. And a happy birthday and many, many more. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Until then, make sure that you have a wonderful morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a wonderful night. And we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host, Frank Allan. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant, Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer, Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.